Hey y'all, it's Dan. Name of my channel is Numerical Lion. Hope you're enjoying your Sunday. It's Sunday, April 5th, 2020. And Zach Hubbard has talked about the original definition of terrorism. And I thought I'd look into that, the gematria of it. So, terrorism, according to this definition from 1795, a system of terror, government by intimidation. That's what terrorism is. The system of terror, a policy intended to strike with terror those against whom it is adopted. The fact of terrorizing or condition of being terrorized, 1798. So government by intimidation is terrorism. So let's look at this. Look at government and terrorist, both 52. Government 52, terrorist 52. So there's a connection, a numerical connection. Also government 137 and intimidation 137. This is what government does. Don't pay your taxes, you're going to get a letter. You're going to get a fine. You can get thrown into jail. Threats, intimidation, right? There's so many of us, and yet we're intimidated by very few people. It's government for you. Look at government and division. Government 52, division 52, also 47. Government 47, division 42. What government does highlights division. Because in order for government to continue, it needs to divide people, to keep them occupied, to divide them. That's what's going on in this current climate, and it's been going on forever. Divide and conquer. It's an old rule. So what is government? I looked up on the definition of it. According to the Columbia Encyclopedia, it defines government as a system of social control under which the right to make laws and the right to enforce them is vested in a particular group in society. A system of social control. Notice control. That's what it is. Goubert is to steer. Ment is the mind. It's mind control. It's mind control to think that you need government. All they do is tax people, take us to wars. People complain about the government all the time, but they live in fear. It's intimidation. It's terrorism. Government by intimidation. Terrorism. Look at the overlap with Freemasonry, the definition, a system of social control under which the right to make laws and the right to enforce them is vested in a particular group. Which group are we talking about? 590 and 607, kind of like 59 and 67. Freemasonry, 67 and 59. 59, also that kill number in Jewish gematria, kill. Also another definition, a government is a system or group of people governing in an organized community, often a state. And what does that equal? It equals 350. 350, we know that number. Right back to Masonry. Scottish Rite of Freemasonry equals 350. Who are the group of people? Who's the state? The Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. What is state in gematria? State. 20 like dead, like death. 34 like murder. 11 the master number. The state is. So then this last thing here, governments provide, I was looking, what do governments do? Well, what's their purpose? They provide the parameters for everyday behavior for citizens. The parameters. So they determine how citizens should act every day. Wow. Governments do this. Governments full of Freemasons. Governments full of, mostly white men. I mean, when the Constitution and the Declaration was passed, it only applied to white men who owned property over the age of 21. That was it. Nobody else was considered a part of it. Women, black people, Native Americans, people, people who didn't have property weren't considered citizens. So protect them from outside interference. So the government does a great job of protecting us from outside interference. Think of the food in the stores. It's all pretty much processed food. It's good for us, right? Protect us from outside interference. Does that mean invasion? Invasion, mostly wars that have been started by governments, really, for the purpose of saying, hey, we need you to protect us. What is the purpose of war? And often provide for their well being and happiness. Really? Well being and happiness? Governments often provide for their well being and happiness. Got to read that again. Happiness from government. Let me think about that. Happiness that I have to pay my taxes, that if I don't send my kid to school, I could get in trouble, get thrown into jail. Wow, if education is so great, why would the threat be there? Government by intimidation, it's terrorism. Well-being and happiness. Yeah, the food. Yeah, they're looking out for us. The government's looking out for us? I don't think so. They're looking out for themselves. They're looking out for that small class of people who own land. That's who they were looking out for, the wealthy. So in the last few centuries, some economists and thinkers have advocated government control over some aspects of the economy. Interesting. Some aspects of the economy. Like it hasn't happened yet. Think about it. Zach Hubbard talks about this a lot, is where these big tech companies, most of their contracts are government contracts. Most of their money is made from the government, from the taxpayers, right? We pay our money and we give it to Google, Apple, and all these other companies and defense contractors. They make their money from the government. Walmart, all these companies get bailed out by the government. Some aspects of the economy, what a watered down purpose of government. So this was intended to be a short little video. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day, everybody. Check out my blog, The Lion's Den. Picture of me. Have a great day, everyone. Stay safe.